the Star Wars mania of the 70s, to the Cabbage Patch Kids craze of the 80s, to the Furby frenzy of the 90s, these were the hottest toys of their time. How many did you have? Similar to today, in 1979, the most popular toys were from hit TV shows and blockbuster movies.
Well, just as we're getting overpaying the bills for last Christmas, the nation's toy makers are already at it, peddling the toys that we'll be buying for next Christmas. The annual Toy Fair has brought hundreds of buyers from all over the country to New York City this week. The toys being shown are a reflection of our times. Popular television shows with hero figures are popular items in the toy industry, as are racing cars, which seem to do just about everything. Recognizing that toys do reflect the child's view of the real world, the Ideal Toy Corporation this year is introducing the Brandy and Andy Gibb Disco Dancing Dolls, complete with colorful flashing lights.
Most of our successful toys are those that reflect the real world. If a child can experience the kind of emotion and fun of the real world, it proves to be successful both at home and on the marketplace. The Disco Doll certainly reflects one of the most popular themes of the world. Children love to dance, they like the music, they like the lights, and it reflects the kind of frenetic and exciting world around them.
In contrast to the toys that represent existing lifestyles, there are the toys that heighten the child's fantasies in the futuristic world, like the one portrayed by Star Wars.
There's room for children to identify with real things that are going on today and also to fantasize about the future, as they certainly do with some futuristic toys. Star Wars, while it's a futuristic space kind of a theme, is also you could call it a space-age Western if you wanted to, because the themes in it are themes that are well known and themes that have been going on, good guys versus bad guys for generations.
In the past year, the Kenner Toy Company has sold over 40 million different Star Wars toys, and this year has allocated a record $10 million budget to advertise the line. When Obi-Wan Kenobi said, "May the Force be with you," he no doubt had the toy industry in mind. Since the kids like the toys of today as well as those of tomorrow, well, it's not inconceivable to expect that before too long, someone, no doubt, will come out with a spaceship with a disco dancing crew.
While there are still 73 shopping days left until Christmas, all this cold weather does have some of us at least thinking about stockings, and amongst those thinking about them are all those toy manufacturers with offices around Madison Square Park. Well, this Sunday there's going to be a fair open to the public, and the Festival of Toys it's called, letting some of the public preview some of the newest and/or hottest toys we can expect to see in the toy stores around Christmas.
If you are over 20 years old, push C. If you are 20 years old or younger, push D. Please push C or D now. Assuming you have answered all of my questions correctly, I now know you are an older female.
Older female indeed. I've seen the future, and whether I like it or not doesn't matter. It's definitely to be found in this year's toy stores. Continuing last year's trend, electronic and computer toys are the biggest things going. Everything from video games to computer brain cars to electronic pinball machines. And now there's even a combination computer board game called Stop Thief.
You actually track the thief down using several little detective players, as you would any game, using dice and what have you. And at the same time, you use the electronic scanner to determine clues in terms of where he's moving across a floor, down a street, breaking a window, that type of thing.
Also big last year and expected to sell heavily again this year. Anything to do with the superheroes. Batman, the Hulk, Spider-Man. Faces only a mother or child could love. And this isn't just any old kind of superhero doll. It's made out of a very special kind of elastic material so that you can pull it, you can squeeze it, you can tie it in knots. Let's face it, it's the man that every woman dreams of. In case you were wondering whatever happened to plain old dolls, dolls are still big, all right, but they're neither plain nor old. Kenner has model dolls named Darcy and Dana in disco outfits that would do Frederick of Hollywood proud. And Mago has a doll named Candy, what else, who can be made up and have her hair dyed, all without getting pimples or cancer. And speaking about fantasy, Mago's rocket tubes is billed as the transportation system of the future.
Works on the air propulsion system from a motor housing, and the cars or Micronaut figures go through the tubes and can go vertically or horizontally.
Does the MTA know about it? Does Mayor Koch know about this system yet?
No, but I'm going to write him a letter now.
Never mind. Can you keep the token at 50 cents on that system?
I'll try.
Well, if you'd like to preview more of these toys and enjoy a whole festival of ethnic foods, antiques, clowns, dancers, jugglers, the works, they'll all be at Madison Square Park, the New York Festival of Toys it's called, at the park from 23rd to 26th Street and 5th Avenue this Sunday afternoon. Enjoy.
Christmas 1979 saw the popularity of computer toys soar, inspired by space-age technology. Anyone remember Simon?
Just a couple of seasons ago, the hottest selling toys were those science fiction space items. But this year, it's real space-age technology that's being applied to some down-to-earth toys, which are actually thinking playmates. These toys walk, talk, blink, and even think. These are computer toys with silicon chip brains that bedazzle children and adults alike. These electronic wizards are also bedazzling the toy industry, which somehow has stumbled onto a $500 million a year bonanza. A couple of days ago, we went to Toyland at Gimbel's to check out some of the latest Way Out toys. Big Track is a 6-wheel tank that can be programmed to do a variety of things.
It enables a child to set his own program for the machine. It can be made to go forward, backwards, it can turn, it can spin, it has a firing mechanism that lets it fire. It can set up to 16 different individual maneuvers within a program.
Superstar 3000 is described as the first computerized electronic guitar, with a sound synthesizer instead of strings, and the ability to remember and play back tunes.
Maniac is a game which automatically adjusts to the skill of the players. It tests players' skills in 4 different ways, and as it said, it has 4 distinct challenges and keeps cumulative scores for each player. As you can see from all the things around you, obviously space-age technology has affected the toy industry as well. And the best way to describe it is to look at what I have here, which is a printed circuit with all the components that would be in a standard electronic game or toy. This is the chip, and it's the brain of the computer. This is the light-emitting diode, and that's what you see. And this is a transducer, and that's in effect the speaker.
This is not just a toy, but it's an ingenious teaching device, teaching youngsters how to spell words.
Spell word.
Spell word. W-O-R-D.
That is correct.
And the word is batteries. Lots of them, because these brainy toys won't even give you the right time of day without them.
In the 80s, Space Invaders captured a generation and had them glued to their TV sets. You had to be near genius to solve the Rubik's Cube, and everyone wanted to be friends with Teddy Ruxpin.
And now we want you to meet a young man from California who spends 2 hours a day in front of a video screen fighting Space Invaders. Today, the 16-year-old also fought some real-life people to win the national championship of the Space Invaders video game. Americans are dropping millions of quarters into the machines every day, but they don't score 165,200 points like the champ. Today, he talked with Steve Powers.
What's your highest score?
250,000 on expert on this game.
How long did it take you to play that?
4 hours.
Did you get tired of the game?
I fell asleep. That's why the game ended.
Well, if you're one of the thousands of people who are hooked on Rubik's Cube, you'll understand why it's so popular. But it's not just a craze that's sweeping this country.
People here have always played card games and board games in the public parks, even in the depths of winter. What's different now is that recently the Chinese joy in gambling has surfaced once again after the repression of the Cultural Revolution. Professional players have been arrested, but in most cases there is no way for the authorities to tell whether there's money on the side. But this past few weeks, a new craze has appeared in Shanghai. They call it the Magic Cube, and the people of Shanghai obviously find it just as fascinating as the rest of the world. In Shanghai alone, there are 20 factories like this one, each turning out more than 1,000 cubes a day, and they simply cannot keep up with demand. When I asked workers here how the project started, they said a friend brought a cube from abroad and they simply took it apart and copied it. Of course, given the Chinese love of a wager, the Magic Cube might not solve the gambling problem. Shanghai has already had its first cube contest. The winner took 1 minute 40 seconds, which, given the stiffness of the locally produced puzzle, is maybe not too bad for a start.
You know, after a gorgeous day like this one, it seems strange to think Christmas is just a month and a half away, but the toy makers know, and Steve Hartman has a report now on a talkative teddy that could be this year's big item for the small fry.
Maybe you've noticed that my eyes, nose, and mouth are moving as I talk. I'm not sure I understand it too well. It has something to do with electronic animation.
Oh my goodness.
Jaws drop when people first meet Teddy Ruxpin, the mechanical bear who runs on a microchip that runs a tiny motor, all of which runs for about $70.
My husband's the one that wants me to buy it for. I said, don't you think that's a lot of money? And he said no.
Is there any chance your husband wants to play with it?
Probably. He's the big kid of the family.
I like it because it would keep me company. I haven't seen anything like that. It's neat, and I wanted it for Christmas.
I don't know. We'll have to think about it.
We got in 48 yesterday, and we have about half dozen left right now. It's unbelievable, really.
But to give you an idea of how quickly all this can change, let me take you on a little tour of Christmas past. 1983, remember the Cabbage Patch Doll big seller? Well, look at this. Aisle 36, right behind the hiking boots.
'Cause I like you.
What a difference a year makes.
Now let's head into the 90s. Here are some of the popular toys of that decade.
Well, I'll tell you, one of the hottest toys this Christmas, if you can find it, is Nintendo 64, a high-tech video game that the kids say tops all the others. But not only the kids are after it, the competition to get one of these things is very fierce. A couple of moms faced off over one of the games at the toy store. We're told the employees had to break them up after they started pushing and shoving each other around.
I can understand that, John, being a mother. Anyway, just kidding. Now, if you have kids, you probably know about Beanie Babies. They're small, cute, and sort of cheap.
No, the other one.
All right, this one is called Pincher.
Does this come with some beanie butter?
I think so. Well, if you don't have to buy a lot of them. But as Lynn White tells us, this latest craze is driving some parents and anchors crazy.
Just two.
You got an elephant. Move over, tickle me, Elmo. Hello, Beanie Babies.
I think primarily it's about their collectability, and it's about the thrill of the hunt.
We're looking for the bat. These $5 creatures have hapless mothers dutifully scouring stores in search of the Beanie Baby of the moment. I like Winnie the Dash shop.
There's a Beanie Baby webpage that has a Beanie Baby, it's called The List, and it has a roster of every single Beanie Baby made.
For toy stores, it's looking a lot like Christmas.
The limit's 3, so you have to decide which ones you want.
I went to a card store near our house, and the guy there said he's been working for 27 years. He now sells 1,000 a day and is ready to retire after 6 months of selling Beanie Babies.
I've collected 18, she's collected 64, so altogether that's 82.
Authenticity is important.
This is Cubby. These two are best friends. This is Spot. Congo, related to Bongo, Bongo.
The dark side of Beanie Babies?
What's going to happen in 2 years when kids have 100 Beanie Babies that they're just not into anymore? I mean, what happens to those Beanie Babies?
I'm Lynn White, Fox Style News.
Now, these are my daughters. She said you could borrow them just for tonight if you want.
Well, one night would probably be enough. They are.
And lobster. We could look like lobsters if the sun came out,
Yes,
John.
we could. Is this what these are instructional little toys, are
Yeah, they have little poems inside and
Very
everything.
Well, I'm sure you'll remember that Furbies were the hottest toy for the holidays. Every child wanted one, but the cute little fur balls are not popular with security experts, and maybe even Pierce Brosnan. Al Feinberg explains.
Cute? Perhaps. Lovable? Maybe. But a spy? The National Security Agency recently e-memoed employees that Furbies were off limits on the NSA's Fort Meade, Maryland campus. The country's top intelligence group got spooked that top secret words or sounds might be mimicked by this talkative, memory chip moppet with a 200-word vocabulary. Okay. Government secrecy expert Steve Aftergood.
Their job is to be on the lookout for possible threats to national security. So they're doing their job, as silly as it seems on this occasion.
The NSA issued this release. The NSA prohibits use of any non-agency-owned photographic, video, and audio recording equipment in agency workspaces. This includes any items with built-in recording feature.
Well, we did some sleuthing of our own. And we talked to Furby's boss.
Tiger Electronics Senior VP for Marketing tells Fox 5, quote, Furby doesn't record. Everything's already in there.
Do you see any threat in that?
It could be a threat to people's pocketbook.
The NSA's former general counsel, Stuart Baker, agreed.
But I've consulted with a number of experts on this, several 9-year-old girls who tell me they can't make him record.
And on that count, Baker says he may, on behalf of Furby, file a request for NSA clearance.
There may be another reason to ban him, however.
And that was the news then.